afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting, innovating, amazing Propagandacast from your host, Imperial Dane, the one, the only master of propaganda, your only sanctioned source of communist entertainment. Off here to a 1 versus 1 on Langraskaya. In the north, it is Stoneface, fighting for the Wehrmacht, Germany, Deutschland. Taking on the role here of the 2nd Panzer Division. Rest in the south, it is HelpingHans, fighting for democracy, freedom, America. Taking on the role here of the 1st Armored Division, we got German Infantry, chosen with anti-tank and machine gun and infantry versus heavy cavalry, recon support, and armor company with troubling for this as well. I have no idea who Stoneface is. He's like, it's some sort of Smurf account. My best guess is it could be Kimbo or someone else. As always, please remember to like, subscribe, and share, and press that bell button. Anyways, back to our regular scheduled program. We got Gundam before 2 start here for Stoneface, HelpingHans into a double rifleman start. So Stoneface, as we might notice, is not going straight for the very common at the moment Tier 2 rush for the Wehrmacht. In fact, he's going for German infantry. There's going to be no G43 Panzer Grenadiers roaming the battlefields of this map, that's for sure. MG42 got the carve point. Pioneer setting infantry aggressively for Stoneface and the Fatherland. Grenadiers setting out there as well. Rifleman moving up, going straight for the building here. Grenadiers moving up. That's going to be a pretty aggressive play there by HelpingHans. It's also going to put pressure on Stoneface since he can use the building here to sort of frustrate Stoneface since he can't ignore the building, obviously. And it's going to be difficult for him in the early game to clear it out here. So that is a very aggressive move there, but also very efficient move there by HelpingHans. And there you go, quickly popping in, leaving Stoneface in a sort of awkward position because, again, there's no sort of position to fight from with either. Maybe try and use the building here, but even then, like, he can just pop out, keep the rifle squad behind here, and then, you know, he somehow has to dig it out of there. So it's a bit awkward there so far for Stoneface here. 3rd rifle squad on the way there for HelpingHans, rifling up towards the centre. Could, of course, threaten the flank from here. That way, again, pinching Stoneface's combat units there, which, of course, is going to make things more awkward for him. Well, he's trying to expect the flank in there, go rifling up, they catch the machine in a bad position, got the single squad there for Stoneface. 3rd rifle squad almost done, they're HelpingHans, MG4 sitting up, he should be able to catch the rifle. Oh, Gunner gets killed, Nori down to half health, not looking good, there you go, rifling. Not quite suppressed at the time, but the MG42 is keeping the rifle from just charging ahead there, but even then they could still do it. And there's up the rifle in the north, MG42 will like to retreat soon, Pioneers in the south, they're moving about, and we got the resistance. So all of this is happening, just sort of calmly grabbing the rest of the map here, and there we go. Almost got the MG42 already here. Pretty rough start there for Stoneface. And again, all parts just because HelpingHans went for this very aggressive, disruptive play. And of course did so quite effective. Rampnet taking heavy casualties there. Of course, one thing Stoneface could have tried to do is just ignore it, just push hard west. But of course, Hans could have just sort of pursued and harassed him. But it is an option they could have considered. Almost got the rifle squad there with the Pioneers. But then the MP40s were not enough. Rifle just keeping up here, sort of running about there. And he, like, either he has to sort of try and flush them out somehow, which is going to be tricky. Again, it's just, you know, keep sort of standing about this. Right now, Hans with a 3-man rifle squad is basically keeping 2 Grenadier squads at full strength. That is 480 manpower preoccupied for some time. There goes, trying to rush the building again. Hans pops in, quickly pushing them back there. I mean, it's a sort of common tactic. Pioneers are out of the rifleman. Got the 3rd Grenadier squad, wing rifle there go, finally pushed out. But even then, for like at least a minute, he was just able to tarp so much to have Stoneface's forces quite easily. So quite efficient there, as you can see there with this sort of opening there from HelpingHans. No tech up yet there for Stoneface. Triple Grenadiers, MU42, is he planning? Oh, there we go. Tech, no, cancels it. Cancels it. And we got a 4th Grenadier squad. Oh, we don't. We got 8. Oh, we do get the 4th Grenadier squad. I'm not sure if that's the best move. I think another MU42 with all the infantry Hans is chucking about could probably stand to be a much more efficient play there by Stoneface. That, of course, might just be me, but I feel like that would be a very solid play out by Stoneface here, going on the offensive very swiftly versus HelpingHans, basically going straight for the car point. I feel like he could have used the medikit to heal up the Grenadiers since when they're all low on health. They're roughly 280 manpower to reinforce, so 15 munitions just to ensure he doesn't have to, you know, suffer immediate casualties after reinforcing. I think would be a pretty good idea there by Stoneface, but just a small note there. Rifle still being held off. Got the cuff on the hit, so he's at least for some time denying HelpingHans resources. I mean, that's a good counterplay there by Stoneface, actually. He's really just leaving Hans in a tight spot. The MG42, those should be ready, and of course that's going to be a tricky part. We got Lieutenant up here, kind of suppressed by the bunkers here from the base. And there we go, and there we go. Big swarm here attacking out the MG42 and the Grenadiers. And Stoneface decides to hold his ground in the face of the scout. The 4th Grenadiers going there. Go Grenadiers holding overwhelmed again. That one squad again. 2 on health simply cannot hold up. Rifle not taking heavy catch from MG42. But the MG42 in return also taking heavy damage itself. He's just getting focused down by the rifle, even the one suppressed. And there you go. Down to just 1 man. There's a good chance not getting wiped out here. The rifle is just hammering over them 1 Garants. And there you go. Down it goes. Grenadiers might try and make a run for it, but the question is, can he still make away with it? The Grenadiers, of course, are low on health. There's still a lot of infantry about here from Hans, and there you go. We still got Lieutenant by with his Thompson, which of course is one of the primary sources of damage in the Lieutenant unit itself. And he's now going for the M20. Stoneface there. Has he been teched up? He doesn't have the light to make a nice company up, so he doesn't have any like immediate counters to the M20s. So right now, Stoneface is in for a rough ride. As Hans is just going to sort of lay on the pressure after Stoneface's cut-off pin there. Didn't quite succeed the way he'd hoped for in the end. Like to make a nice company out there. Got the medic banker up as well there. He could consider some veteran squad leaders also, you know, soon to that way get out something a bit tougher, but he's likely going to prioritise just getting the medics ready here. In the bunker, like to make a nice company almost done. We got the M20 on the way there, and of course, with 4 grenadier squads, he will have a lot of veteran grenadiers or veteran squad leader grenadiers, which of course is going to be a lot of firepower down the road. Point there being seized here by the rifleman. Pearson's there, laying up tank traps and barbed wire by the centre victory point. Hard striking up hard east. Medic bunker there almost done. Troops continue to reinforce. Of course, he's a bit short on manpower here, so he can't easily just reinforce everything at the same time. But there you go. Some units are now being slowly dispatched to the front line here to at least somehow try and stem the flow of Americans that HelpingHans is just sort of pouring forth. Got the M20 in the move there. Got armoured skirts being added as well there for HelpingHans, and Stoneface has, well, pretty much no real counter. I mean, his best hope is kind of just to bait it into a lot of Panzerfaust and, you know, kill it with that. But hey, that requires a lot of munitions nonetheless. And it also requires that HelpingHans is, you know, dumb enough to happen, or that he somehow managed to completely outmaneuver HelpingHans so badly just happens no matter what. And so far that's not looking like the case with barely any map control here for Stoneface. Hans heading in a 50 caliber. I mean, obviously there's an opponent with a lot of infantry. That's a great investment, of course. Also, the 2-2 is likely what it's going to go for next, and the 50 caliber with the armor piercing rounds is going to be doing that a great job as well. But right now, Stoneface has 1 point connected, the rest are cut off. Otherwise, in the hands of the HelpingHans and the 1st Armored Division. So, Stoneface is in a really bad spot right now. I mean, he's in a horrifying spot. Like, the only sort of thing we can sort of say that's a positive is he hasn't actually lost any units in like great numbers, so there's of course in that sense still a good chance of sort of getting back, but nonetheless your opponent holding most of the map like this is usually not a good sign. Propagandacaster, one of the few remaining points under control, of course not connected. Got the 2-2 out there for Stoneface. Pioneers on watch. We've got Ralph Squad there. Moving ahead here, we got the M20 just constantly blasting. We've got the Lieutenant here as well with a bazooka. Hans clearly anticipating the 2-2 sort of, you know, his fall here, so he obviously wants something to stop the 2-2 as much as consistently as possible. In that regard, adding bazookas to the Lieutenant certainly helps with that. Moving ahead to deal with the rifle on the left flank, perhaps? Nope. Looking to outmaneuver, HelpingHans to down the M20 perhaps. Big push here, take advantage of perhaps a bit of the chaos happening to push back against HelpingHans and the 1st Armored Division here, but HelpingHans is not allowing that to happen easily. Mine sweeps up already, helps with repairs, but of course also in case Stoneface does get some mines down, I mean, he won't be getting much use out of them in a lot of cases. Grenadiers suppressed and routed, got the 5th caliber there joining in the fun. 1 kill already, halfway to veterans 1 already in fact. 2 killed. 50 caliber causes quite the piece of weaponry in game. Back here, nothing happening yet, just got troops retreating towards it. To try and deal with it, there we go. Note what he's done is actually switched out the vehicle crew with the re-echelons. So now he's got a bazooka team more on the battlefield. And he's basically saying, you know what, I don't need to worry about mines at the moment. But of course, in theory, you can always swap them up if it becomes an issue. Either way, it just gives him more tools to like stop the 2-2 with there. So nice bit of improvisation there for HelpingHans. Highlighting that he knows the biggest issue right now is the 2-2. And the sort of dangers he can be to his M20. But also his infantry, really. Like a well-handled 2-2 can be quite a nasty infantry to deal with as well, though. Running into a 50 caliber there, of course, is quickly going to cut that career short if he's not careful. Going to lose some trouble with the rifleman. Still, he's fighting on. And even as all this is happening, it's almost like it's a diversion. He's dispatching a small unit westwards to grab territory there. So quite good play there by Stoneface. Good maneuvering. Good reading of the overall battle map there. Turn taking heavy down from the 2-2 up close. Note what he's doing. He's just basically drumming around there to make it harder for the bazooka team to fire, because he's still having what is known as like in an aim time. Like they have, in this case, didn't pan out, but like theoretically, if you can keep pushing a unit about, they can't find enough time to like aim and then shoot. This is in particular clear with Panzer strikes, which have an even longer aim time. So like you push a Panzer grenadier, let's say Panzer strikes about there, they actually can have a really hard time actually getting off a rocket. In this case, they did lose to the 2 there. The 5th caliber, of course, being a massive issue, but even then the bazookas did get off a hit there. Instead, the arm piercing round, but the 5th caliber gets the first hit. He's going to have to flank the 5th caliber then, maybe that way route it. Still, even again, as all this happening, he's grabbed the western fuel point. There's a good play by Stoneface. I mean, really good handling. Hans, meanwhile, leading up with a light tank. He's feeling strong. He's feeling control. He's going to have the student just add more pressure now to allow him to more safely to push for the bigger stuff he wants to. Noting that Hans has yet to commit to a doctrine. Panzer fast off. There's a chance here for Stoneface to take out the M20. There's a chance, but there's also Hansi just rushing and everything because obviously he doesn't want to lose the M20. It's really good versus Stoneface and the Germans here, so if he loses it, that'll make Hans pretty sad. So he's just basically launching everything he's got, including the 50 caliber, at Stoneface's forces. There we go, quickly pops up, but the Panzerfaust still go off. He does get the M20, but at least he's able to salvage the crew. Then, of course, he still also has the bazooka team, so while a loss, it's not quite as stinging as an XT could be to Helping Hands there. So nice save there by him. Take 40 out. M5A1 stood on the way here for Helping Hands and Democracy. Moving ahead here, going straight for the Grenadiers on health, but for a brief while now, Stoneface actually has control of both fuel points, so you know. He's clearly capable of pushing back against Hans, but Hans is still nonetheless in a strong position versus Stoneface, and he is not slowing down or letting up here. So far, only one Grenadier squad to upgrade the veteran squadrons, so of course, the more he can get, the better. And right here, Stoneface is committed to another MD-42, which is a good decision. Hans does a lot of troops and support ones about, and another MD-42 can of course help sort of slow down Hans's movements and give Stoneface a bit more freedom of movement in return. Pioneers vs Resistance, ground the Western Victory Point. We got 304 versus 491. Ground points up north. Got Lieutenant Fang Wei at the Grenadiers. MD-42 almost done there for Stoneface. Almost, and there we go. MD-42 done. Gefechtsbereit. Veteran squad Grenadiers being backed up. Regular Grenadiers against the rifle there from Helping Hands, taking up some quick hits. And there we go. We got airdrop combat group inbound here for Helping Hands. It's going to be paratroops, but also the pack howitzer, which is going to make things much more difficult for Stoneface since it's a threat to his infantry, but also his support weapons. MD-4 to move straight into the rear echelon, or the vehicle crew, not the rear echelons. Grenadiers moving up. Bit bunched up here, Mark makes it easy for this to do when they got the pack 40 moving in, but that's obviously going to happen right in the line of sight there of Helping Hands, so he knows what's coming, he's not going to stick around for too long. Vehicle crew without maneuvering the MD-42, not good handling there by Stoneface, clearly a lot going on, but in the end, he rather another Grenadier squad seals the deal and the vehicle crew is forced to retreat. MD-42 and watch there. Grenadiers setting out, we've got the Swimming Forces Centre here for Helping Hands. Rifling up in the far west, it looks like he's setting up for deep flank on Stoneface, but whatever's got planned there got cancelled. Stoneface is taking up, so good. Helping Hands might also consider taking up soon as well here versus Stoneface. Paratroopers though pinned down to the ground, ending brown light machine guns, very good there. In the west here, the students will be a problem there for Stoneface, engaging his infantry at will. With the Stoneface not really able to, you know, deal with it in return. But he's holding in the pack 40 there. And of course, still got the rifle on the far flank, meaning the MD-42 in the pack here could easily be threatened if he's not careful. Pushing up here though, Stoneface is not living up to the aggression. He's still trying to pressure Hans as much as possible. He's not trying to be passive, he just wants to gain initiative and he wants to beat Helping Hands with it, which is obviously how I want to do it. And Helping Hands obviously wants to ensure that doesn't happen and then beat Stoneface silly. Steward setting out there, close to one, Grenadiers around, got the Steward moving in here. Deep flank here with Helping Hands, good force committees there. That's going to be a problem there for Stoneface to deal with since, well, he doesn't have any machine guns over there. And he's only got a few unupgraded Grenadiers in fact, so, or well, one Grenadier squad but at half health. So this is going to be a bit troublesome here for Stoneface. But I will good play there by Helping Hands. Not just trying to bash his head through a wall there to defeat said wall, but actually looking to try to move his opponent, sort of hit him from his, on his sweet spots. Very good play there. Grenadiers need to retreat soon, also going to get wiped out. In fact, he's threatening the retreat path there of the Grenadiers. Very good play there. Paratroopers joining in as well there. Heavy damage inflicted. But again, we can see that Stoneface similarly is not just looking to just rely on raw brute force. He is relying on tactics, maneuver, sort of trying to catch his opponent off guard. He's hitting the western fuel point as well. So lots of action going on here. None of the players slacking off so far. Back here, tech is done, though. He still needs to get the support car up and then get resources to get out some armor. Rather Lieutenant here pushing for the eastern point. We've got a Grenadier squad there, but without any sort of additional weaponry, they might find themselves falling a bit short here in the face of America. And these moving to the centre, we got double machine guns to move with that. Pack 40, of course, also playing support in the far west. Stuart routes the Pioneers. His action just keeps getting more intense. We got Raffen here, compared to the sort of further threatening things up there. The situation for Stoneface remains a bit precarious. We've got the pack house along with 2 kills halfway, so it's one further applying pressure there to Stoneface. Back here, troops in enforcing, nothing further going on there for Stoneface. Resistance suppressed, we got 281 versus 468. And we got cluster bombs here. Stoneface, of course, presenting a very big, tasty target for Helping Hands, and Helping Hands, of course, seizes upon it. Almost getting the MD-42. Not here, by the way, what he did, in theory, was just slightly move ahead there, since he knew he couldn't retreat in time, so he just moved ahead. Then he retreated, but in this case, the time was slightly opposite, still got wiped. But I like what he did there. I mean, that sort of makes a lot of sense there. But he should, of course, be more careful in the future about keeping his forces too close, because Helping Hands will try and call in cluster bombs on it. We got the Atomic Cop, we also got the Major out for Helping Hands. Still, Stoneface can actually get tanks up faster, which isn't down in part due to their harassment, but also the fact that Hands went for several light vehicles where Stoneface did not. So there's a bit there, but even then, even if he does get out the Panther for first, I mean, Helping Hands still has a lot of control. He's got a lot of bazookas, and of course he's still be able to fill up with tanks, so tank destroys that way, make things harder for Stoneface. But still, if he can get out that Panther 4 fast enough and use it well enough, he might still be able to now create a bit more room for himself versus Helping Hands. Big crew they're holding out, still cursing the fact that they've been used as infantry more than as an actual vehicle crew there. Patriots moving in, Pioneers nearby should be able to push them out at least. We got the Lieutenant with the Grenadiers as well. One Grenadier squad down, we got 2 left. Or 3 left, one without the upgrade. You should, of course, seek to get that one upgrade as well. So in spot, we've got the Super moving in here again. Stoneface assault continues, but it's happening at a rather slow pace, and there's also the free rest of the flank here, which is quite vulnerable. You could consider calling in some stormtroopers from extra immediate infantry here versus Helping Hands. He's also going straight for the fuel pond there in the east. And towards the Raffen up close. And he's flanking up, he should be able to hit the 50 caliber there. Nice flank there by Helping Hands, but in this case there is kind of flanked by Stoneface. Good response there. Roughing it off. Could have a chance of taking out the 50 caliber, which would be great here for Stoneface. Bad for Helping Hands. And in fact, it looks like that's what's going to happen here, unless Helping Hands gets very lucky. And, oh. Apparently that's exactly what happens to Helping Hands. He does get very lucky there. Wow. Or maybe not. There's another Grenadier squad, in fact, on the retreat path. And there we go. Pop goes the weasel. It could still get wiped out before he gets away with it. And the easiest attack continues here for Stoneface. Helping Hands, so resistance is slowly losing its grip, as he's, of course, forced to commit to Stoneface West assault there. Penta's almost done. Hands could go for Jackson, he'd go for Sherman's right now, but he's interested enough holding back on his resources here versus Stoneface. Perhaps he's waiting to see what Stoneface goes for before committing to a count of his own. Oh, he's just forgotten. I mean, there's a few possibilities of Helping Hands. Panzer fast landing great here on the Stuart light tank, closing in on Vetchi 2 on that one, by the way. Panzer 4 almost done here for Stoneface and the German army, the 2nd Panzer Division. Pioneers and pushing back the right from the west, and there you go. Panzer Kampfwagen 4 gefechtsbereit here for Stoneface. Jackson tanks on the way for Helping Hands. M36. Tank troops up. Helping Hands flooding a lot of munitions. He could consider maybe some weapon racks or some grenades. Always some extra ways to spend munitions besides just relying on cluster bombs a lot of the time. But Panther Force on the field, and Helping Hands at the moment just basically has a pair of bazookas and the Stuart to really try and stop that. Well, cluster bombs this time again here on the support ones, but the machine gun here is in the centre of this airborne apocalypse that Helping Hands is unleashing against, and there you go, wipes out the entire thing. You can of course recruit, but even then losing the machine gun in particular, veteran one will hurt for Stoneface. Paratroops causing problems for the Pioneers. He could try and bait them into the machine gun, and Helping Hands might take the bait. Yes indeed, straight to the MD-42 there, nice and suppressed. Jackson tanks though has arrived there for Helping Hands and the 2nd Armored Division, ready to give Stoneface a very, very bad time. This time moving ahead, they crit the routing again though. Now we go Jackson getting the Panther 4. Pack 40 moving up here. What will Stoneface do next here versus Helping Hands? What was plan B? Going for more pioneers, probably for repairs, but also other meshes, I imagine. Oh dear. Ralph's got odds being suppressed at the before to adding incendium piercing rounds to increase damage. Thumbs up there. And there goes just soaring through those riflemen. There's a need to retreat. Came down. There you go, more pioneers out for Stoneface. Jackson engaging the Panzer IV there. There you go, 50 caliber out here as the rifleman. Oh, cluster bombs called in straight on the 50 caliber position. I don't think Stonefaces are paying attention, so that's going to get wiped out as they go off there. Fun fact about the M83 cluster bombs, they're a straight up rip-off of the German butterfly bomb. So if you're wondering why they look the same, that's because they are the same. And it's not because Relegers being racist. I remember one guy accusing them of. It's basically because the Americans were lazy and just figured, you know, the Germans aren't good enough and used it. So go figure. Hitting the eastern fuel pond there, very good. Panzer IV there, halfway to veteran to 1. Troops are here reinforcing for Stoneface. You got 145, this is 432. I mean, the situation for Stoneface is starting to look pretty grim there in terms of victory points. Paratroops moving about. You got the Panzer IV westwards with Pioneers backing it up. And he's advancing up the eastern side there. 10 held up, close vetting 3, pack counter falling back. Got the paratrooper straight in the machine gun needs to retreat, get out of the Stoneface, get it out of there, Rückzug, Rückzug. Ah, shite, he's not paying attention, is he? Panzer on the west side there, collapses, HelpingHans positions there like a wet paper bag. Machine gun routed in the face, Rat Gunners pushing back the rear squad, but they're themselves low in health. They're outnumbered and they will have to retreat. Pack shoots, misses HelpingHans as Jackson there quite nicely. 137 versus 432. Oh, lots of bunch of infantry. That Panzer IV could land a hit, but at the same time, Stoneface needs to be careful not to get, you know, it start there in front of the Jackson tank shot with a damaged engine, which seems to be exactly what happened here for Stoneface. No infantry support as well. This could be a pretty big blow that the Stoneface will lose the Panzer IV right now versus HelpingHans. Jackson going in there for the kill, trying to use the building to keep it safe from the Panzer IV. There you go. We got assault and hold as well. Hit to boost his infantry. Very nice. Also, Lumps get points faster. Panzer IV's main gun is out, and there you go, down it goes, easy kill there for HelpingHans. That was a not particularly well considered move there by Stoneface. And certainly has handed HelpingHans a great tactical victory, as again now his opponent doesn't have any tanks left for the time being. Assault Hook continues the two. Hold up, that does seem to have mistimed here by maybe he was hoping it also gave his troops sprint, but it doesn't. It just allows them to A, shoot more accurately, but also grab territory faster. Like you can see there, they grab this strategic point very fast and the victory point as well. Which is not bad at all either, but it's obviously not sort of in terms of movement fast. Second pack forward in the way there. Scott on the way, they're HelpingHans, meaning more artillery for Hans, where Stoneface has pretty much no artillery at all whatsoever. And certainly the packs will be a bit vulnerable here to the Scot, depending on how Hans might use them. So we'll have to see what Mr. Stoneface is going to do to try and break out of this mess. And this was Rifleman Scott almost done there for HelpingHans. Pack number 2 moving out here. We got a bit of grabbing the western points here. 137 versus 386. Stoneface is theoretically not far off from another Panzer IV, but he needs to be much more careful with that one because we lose another Panzer IV too easily like the first one. Stoneface could find himself in a death spiral there, I think. Racing across the MG42 and then in the centre. And the other MG42 gets routed. There you go, Scott moving up as well. Meet the thing about barraging their Stoneface's support weapons. Good move there by HelpingHans. Good move. Stoneface can go for another Panzer IV here. We could also go for troops on Ostwind. We shall have to see what he goes for. Stoneface very much in the defensive again. HelpingHans gaining control of most of the map, and particularly he's getting control of most of the resources and the victory points on the sides. Very good there, obviously. A bit of a problem there for Stoneface. Just there we go, going for another Panzer IV. Paratroopers being suppressed. Far east, and attempting to break out as Helping Hands' stranglehold and reclaiming the fuel and other bits there for Stoneface in the 2nd Panzer Division once more. Panzer IV slowly getting ready. Got Pack 4 trying to hit the Stud here through the hedges. Almost pulled off there, but lacked the extra hit there to finish it off with. Another airdrop combat group, which could, besides meaning it caused more paratroopers, could also mean that Helping Hands could be planning to go for another pack out. So meaning he's going to have a total of 3 artillery pieces versus Stoneface, and that's going to be really difficult for his infantry support them to deal with. And will certainly put a lot more pressure on the Panzer IV than for Stoneface to really do the heavy lifting. Got Lieutenant Charlie and the Gunners, more Gunners running into the scene. Paratroopers falling up here. Lieutenant routed. But where's the paratrooper? Don't think. Oh, the paratroopers actually fall back. That's interesting. Panzer IV with the major up here in the west, and then further south of that, we got a big push here by Stoneface with anti-tank and infantry and pioneers. Mostly pioneers and support weapons, really. Then there's some heavy fire there from Helping Hands artillery, blasting away there and threatening with nasty things. We need to push back with the paratroopers in the east. 7 kills, close to 23. Scots continue to hammer away there as well. We got 2 kills there, ground center victory point. Panzer IV moving in. Shoots, misses. Got the packs moving up. You need to be careful. Also need to get those Gundams out there. They are very low in health and will not be able to withstand much more punishment there from Helping Hands in the 1st Armored Division. Bounding right across the corner, and there going shot at by the Panzer IV. We got cluster bombs in there to again further make it harder for Stoneface to put some sort of coherent defense here. Pack 4 has been pushed away, leaving nothing to support the Panzer IV. We got the Jacks moving, got the Scott moving in there. Machine gun forced to rout once more. Got the packs are joining in for a bit of fun there, but Stoneface's Panzer IV's almost down, and I think a pack should actually bounce off the Jacks in the frontal armour. Oh, Paratroopers there, they're about to get wiped out. Bit of blunder there by Helping Hands though. Yes, indeed, went down without really seeing much there for Helping Hands. That was a definite slip up there, I would argue. And then, of course, it now has the 2nd pack cards ready as well. So, I mean, Hands does have a lot of artillery right now, and Stoneface has bugger all. Going straight here for the Panzer IV though. Need to keep the front timer towards all the time. Pack 4 the firing way there, and he gets the Stewart. That was really damn close. If he'd gotten this Panzer IV with the Stewart, that would have been pretty huge there for Hounds, but instead he ended up losing the Stewart without finishing off the Panzer IV. So that's a small tactical win there for Stoneface, but he's still in pretty hot waters though. Versus Helping Hands there. He is still in pretty hot waters. Gunning against the paratroopers here. Close 53 there. Grenade here would be amazing for him, and there you go. Pineapple grenade there. Paratroopers there, being pushed back with the grenades. Not all of them have now been upgraded with veteran score leaders, increasing firepower, durability, and of course giving that snazzy new icon. Pack being assaulted, MD4 coming up to try and stop that assault. Hands almost good to go here for Stoneface. Lots of action, continues to sort of rain back and forth here between Stoneface and Helping Hands. Neither player relenting, neither player slowing down, no matter the odds. Ooh, close getting wiped there, needs to shoot those Grenadiers. Stoneface, oh shiz, he's down to just 2 Grenadiers, now he needs more infantry now soon. Panzer IV already in a bad state. He after encountered Helping Hands' tanks. But there you go. Pack 40 opening up on it. Almost got it. Almost got it here. It's going to be really close here. Pack 40 trying to take it out. Oh, he's moving ahead. He's moving ahead. He's trying to take out the Panzer IV. And instead loses the Jacks. A really risky gamble there by Helping Hands, which I don't think was necessary, to be honest. I mean, sure, if he'd gotten the Panzer IV, great. That could be GG. But if he loses the Jacks, that gives Stoneface more respite to actually recover from and sort of maybe push out against Helping Hands with. So it was certainly a move that relied a lot on RNG working out in Helping Hands' favour. Ooh, Company's wiped out. He's down just 1 infantry squad. Stoneface really needs infantry badly. And of course needs to get that Panzer IV back in action as well. Grab the centre victory point. Fixing up the Panzer IV. There you go. Panzer Grenadier for Stoneface. Going for the eastern munitions point. He's got fuel and victory points. Got 92 points left for Stoneface versus Helping Hands at 369. Panzer almost fixed up. Panzer got his squad halfway down there, and we got the important lieutenant. Grenadiers moving ahead here. Both Pack 40s on watch, one by the way very close to the east level. There you go, Ravnate lands an excellent hit. They're going to these. They've really been pushed to the limits. Panzers are arriving out. They will obviously go to the support package. Most likely not, but I do think it's nice. The mark target ability, for example, is pretty good. And smoke grenades can always be handy as well. Machine against the east, little Panzer charging ahead there, 12 kills. Jackson on the way there, and what is he doing? He's going straight ahead here. He is not going for the pack carriages though. Is he going straight for the base there though? He might actually try and sort of raid it out, maybe take out the ambulance there. HelpingHans seems to realize to try to quickly get the ambulance out there. Good move there by HelpingHans. Perhaps the cook risk getting crushed here, and oh, half the unit gone in the blink of an eye. Bazooka teaming up, Ralph teaming up. There we go, more paratroopers squished flat beneath the treads of the Panther 4. There you go, damage into the Panther 4. Jackson tanks almost done. It could be lost here for Stoneface of his Panther 4. Which wouldn't really have been worth it. I mean, again, sort of kind of risky with no exit plan. As opposed to still a chance of pulling off. Panther 4 gets good at Lieutenant. We got more bazooka teams around in there, and we got weapon racks up for HelpingHans, I believe. Yes, indeed. Got bazookas out, but worth noting, no BARs out. Jackson tanks almost ready here. Panther 4 close to 82. Scott taking hits from the Pack 40s. Ramping up the flank here. Pioneers coming up as well with the flamethrowers and their will for victory. 79 points left there. Machine gun gaining victory 2. And we got the tanks out there for HelpingHans and the 1st Armored Division in hot pursuit there of Stoneface's Panzerkampfwagen 4. Need to be careful, of course, not to extend here as the Pack 40s. They've already punished him once. There we go, Betty turn the Panther 4. Jackson takes it out though. But if it loses the Jackson, it's not going to be good because he's at that point lost 2 Jackson for 1 Panther 4. Okay, looks like it's going to get away. He's of course taking a very deep flank there, trying to get out there far away. But it seems like Stoneface is still going to try and take it out there. He's going to pursue aggressively. He's going to try and figure out where he can sort of catch and then destroy it. Stoneface wants that Jackson dead. We got another Panther 4, meanwhile HelpingHans, well, he's not too far off from another Jackson, I suppose. Fuel-wise is there, but manpower-wise is a bit shorter. Oh wait, that's another Jackson that went down there. HelpingHans is playing them hyper-aggressively here versus Stoneface. Almost as though they were tanks. Machine gun there firing away. But also very low on health. Needs to probably get out of this soon enough. Before the pack carriages take them out. 12 kills and we got 3 kills there. Panther 4 mobilized. Pin machine being added there for Stoneface and the 2nd Panzer Division. And Ace Machine Crew that forced away, and the other one got destroyed entirely. But below the Stoneface was already short in infantry. Losing the MD-42s will not increase his odds. Mines going up here in the eastern victory point to slow down any advance there behind the Hans. Panther 4 charging in. Could try and take out the Scott of the pack carriages this time around, or I suppose we just try and raid the base again for another attempt to get the ambulance. But bazooka teams to the rescue there. Forces Stoneface to pull back the Panther 4. My apologies, they're dealing with a bit of a cold. Panzer grenade here under fire from the Scott. Oh, direct hit there. Almost wiped up. Bun grenade. Oh, blew up one of his own as well. Not good there. At least the Panzer Squad doesn't seem to have got wiped out, but even then just blowing up one of your own men like that always feels bad. Rifle grenade off. Could go for another infantry squad here, another Panzer squad would be great. Otherwise, just more storms from the first place could also be a good addition here for Stoneface, but I definitely feel like more infantry would be a good idea here. Almost got the Lieutenant, rest of them being glassed out in the open, trying to take out that Panther 4, moving in, stuff to block out there. Cluster bombs in here as well, against the Pack 40s, but not getting there. We got the MD4 coming in there, and the Pack's actually up to block here. I think he might even be using the support crews with MP4 trying to deal damage to the re-echelons. He's basically doing everything he can to keep that Panther 4 alive, certainly highlighting just how much he needs them. There you go, bazookas, less accurate at range, and there you go, almost getting the entire re-echelon squad wiped out now. Lots of intense action here. 60 versus 311. In these, we've got paratroopers there hitting the S-mines and taking some nastier casualties. Fighting on the west here, and there you go. Looks like something got wiped out. The resistance, in fact, perished. Now the Jackson tanks will have HelpingHans. Got the Pack 40s moving ahead here. And the Panther 4 is in dire need of repairs. At the same time, the Stoneface is committing to more Panther grenades. That is excellent. Das ist wunderbar. Moving towards the centre with 33 kills. Got the western one, we got 64 versus 311 there. Seizing the eastern field point there. We got the Pioneers hard at work there on Stoneface's Panzerkampfwagen 4. There you go. Panzerkampfwagen both squads on the move there. Paratrooper suppressed. Scott halfway to Veteran 2. Definitely bad news there for Stoneface's infantry and support them to get there. Here we go, immediately snipes for Ludwig. Jackson tank destroyer number, I think 3 or 4 there for HelpingHans, who's been losing a lot of tank destroyers. I mean, admittedly, Stoneface has been losing a bunch of Panther 4s, but they are a bit cheaper. Another assault and hold here, boosting infantry combat prowess once more, of course, ability to grab territory. But you still should use cover against Vet T3 rifle squads, then heavy cover. Otherwise, it's obviously a lot as effective. Delhi's using it to grab points here and there. Very good. Panther advancing up the west side here, could try and outmaneuver some of this HelpingHans' positions. Of course, we got the Jackson there ready to receive the Panther 4 and stop it. Both Panzer squads are routed. Field-wise, HelpingHans is getting a lead here over Stoneface in terms of like income per minute. 50 couple on the way. The HelpingHans are finally bringing up some more machine guns here versus Stoneface and the German army, the Krauts. S-Mart's gone off the riflemen, trying to reposition, forgot about them, and then took more casualties. Panther 4 charged again, but obviously has to be mindful of anti-tank rifle grenades. Otherwise, you could lose another Panther 4 easily here too. HelpingHans, and there you go, another set of cluster bombs. I imagine now the support weapons again. And these mobilized, Panzer there reinforcing. Lots of explosions there. 61 versus 289. Scott on the move there. Panzer going to be moving out. Heading for the centre victory point. Got the Pack 40 minute MG42 covering up there as well. Seizing the eastern victory point. Scott blasting away, not quite hitting. Packs on the move. Bit of dancing around here on both sides. Essentially trying to find the other sort of weak spot and sort of hit them hard. Panzer the rest of the paratroopers there, 2 squads versus 1, though they have actually thin heavy cover. Green off as well there. Oh, Panzer squad wiped up, bit of blow there to Stoneface. Go battle lightning return here to the paratroopers. And go Panzer Browning, boost them up there with the combined arms bonus. Force them retreat there on the paratroopers. Pack Carter firing away. Seizing the eastern victory point there as well. We got 61 versus 285. Now the Panther on the way for Stoneface, finally getting more than 1 tank at a time. HelpingHans has yet to get it, well, more than one any other tank either as well. Though he's got 1 Jackson, 1 Scott, obviously. Pack 40 is moving about aggressive. They're looking to, at any point, like just destroy the Jackson and sort of get into range of the packs. Panzer was there, Veggie 2, they're being overwhelmed, and without the combined arms bonus, they're going to be easier to push out there. Back healing reinforcement going for Stoneface. Panther 4 almost done. Panther squad almost wiped out. Then for good benefit for some more infantry, to be honest. Lots of explosions. The Scots and the pack cards just keep flinging about high explosives there at anything that looks remotely German. Troops in reinforcing, and there you go. Panther 4 out. Jackson shoots missed the Panther 4, Pack 4 coming up as well. Their rifle normal being taken out. Note that the Jackson has not been repaired yet by HelpingHans, meaning in theory, like, 1 volley from the packs and the Panther 4 could take it out. Which is exactly what happens there. A punishing blow there to HelpingHans. Got a bit to relax there, and his Jackson got shot. He's cut, forcing him to cancel his Sherman to go for another Jackson tank destroyer. At this point, the question is maybe you should just go for Shermans rather than Jacksons. Since the Shermans are a bit more flexible, have smoke, and also a bit more armor than Jackson, so this theoretically slightly more survival versus the Panther 4s anyways. And there you go, at the same time as all this happening, by Stoneface rushes into Helping Hands' base and takes out the ambulance with a surgical strike. Thumbs up there. Really nice. This is taking advantage of Helping Hands' heavy folks on the west side to just sneak up and destroy the ambulance. Just frustrating Helping Hands and Mag, and suddenly he finds out his base isn't as safe as he thought it was. And in fact, it's now using to further drive up here behind him. What is this? The crew bazooka is apparently showing they have a bazooka on the pack hound, so that's a first. Ralph Squad there, crushed beneath the treads of the Panzer IV. Stoneface is just on a rampage here versus Helping Hands now. He's just destroying his stuff. And that Panzer IV's now taking out not just an ambulance, but a full rifle squad, and that was just with its treads. So, does this mean that Jürgen's driver gets the Iron Cross this time around? Yeah, I mean, wiping out an entire unit with its treads, that's pretty awesome. And brutal, but awesome. Panzer, they're going for the western fuel point. Back here, troops in reinforcing. More Panzer Grenadier there for Stoneface and the 2nd Panzer Division. Panzer IV backing off here as Helping Hands' tank destroyer charges forwards once more. Panzer IV then dying at repairs. We got the Pioneers that hard at work. Worth noting here that Stoneface has not upgraded the squad numbers, which it could do, which would of course also increase repair speeds. Jackson charging here straight at the pack. Panzer IV, because their pack forward is nearby. Lieutenant also moving ahead. Cluster bombs called in. Gets the Panzer IV out of there. Nope, the Panzer IV goes down. A kill there for Helping Hands. Gets off a last vengeful hit down the Jackson's rear armor. Seizing the western point, you need to retreat the Panzer Grenadier. Helping Hands are pushing back hard. We got 58 versus 224. Things are a bit in the balance, but... Oh, there we go. Another assault and hold here from Stoneface. Lovely. Could quickly out a lot of units, since again, Panzer Gunners benefit a lot from it with those accuracy bonuses there. Pack cards crew being slowly whittled down. Parrots were out in the open as well. They're getting shot to hits with the Grenadiers and the Panzer Grenadiers here. Grenadier for the machine gun. Going straight for the pack cards. Almost got it cleared out. 5th Cavalry up there. Could flank with the Panzer Grenadiers. Close to Ace Little Bomb and cleared out. Almost got the Parrots with the bomb grenade. And there you go. Pack cards are down. Panzer IV moving in. 5th Cavalry there getting shot to bits as well. Being wiped out here by the Panzer Grenadiers. Against assault and hold. Really powerful ability there. And almost got it. So close there. Trying to destroy the pack cards. Other things are really good there. Grenadiers opening up, machine gun all being taken up. We got an MA Grand out here for Helping Hands, I think, indicating a certain sense of desperation from Helping Hands when he's just calling in whatever he can now versus the Germans. We got 52 versus 217 here. Not destroying the pack cards after all. He definitely should do that. He does not want Helping Hands getting back online versus him. Scott being repaired. There you go. He's sitting back, destroying the pack cards. And now finally, there we go. Pack cards are kaput. Jackson in the end, they're going for the Panzer IV. They're still the packs as well. Panzer IV bet T2. Could he risk losing another Jackson tank destroyer here to Stoneface to Deutschland? In the east gun, Scout car they're moving up the Greyhound. Panzer IV's main gun is up. Pioneers falling back as well here. 52 versus 206. I mean, Helping Hands has used 3 abilities so far. The only thing he hasn't used is on our Pathfinder's raid tactics. They could use it actually. In fact, it doesn't need to pop out the crew. He could just pop raid tactics, I guess. They don't mean munitions less for other stuff. Meanwhile, Stoneface has only used the veteran squad leaders, and he's used assault and hold. There's been no fragmentation bombs, no stormtroopers, and no 250 half track. Got a light machine gun drop down there. Pick it up with the Grenadiers, I think, and turn against Helping Hands there, which would be quite uncomfortable for Helping Hands, obviously. Grenadiers being routed. 52 versus 194 still. Panzer IV almost good to go here for Stoneface once more. Pioneers out of work, still not being upgraded with increased numbers. There you go, Panzer IV out for Stoneface. Jackson, Scott moving up on the left flank. Not going for deep flank though here with Stoneface. Much more the shallow flank it seems. If it is a flank. Oh, bomb grenade on the retreat. On the expected movement, almost gets them wiped. Nice throw there by Stoneface. Panzer on the left flank here. 5th car being rounded. We got 46 on 94. Jackson about to get caught by the Panzer IV. Oh, shot bounced. Wow, that's pretty unlucky there for Stoneface's Panzer IV. Nice hit then return from the Panzer IV on the Jackson tank destroyer, quickly backing off there though. Jackson shoots, misses. 40 versus 194. Return moving up there with limited support. Perry going for the centre victory point. Jackson moving in again. Got the Scot moving up as well there. Those Panzers will feel the wrath of America. Panzer IV, they're taking a hit. Everybody's going in. He's blitzing in with the Panzer IV here. Jackson that goes down, taken out with the Pack 40s there. Scott could be the next target here of Deutschland's wrath. When the centre paratroopers here versus the Pioneers, and there you go. Hans backs out. A loss here for America, for democracy, a victory for the German army, for the Panzerwaffe. A brutal and at times rather close 1-1 there with a strong hand there for HelpingHans in the early game. Stoneface was able to slow turn around. Then HelpingHans, I feel like, kept extending his tank destroyers for like chances that honestly did make a lot of sense then. Like he'd always just played more patiently, build up a larger force, and that way destroyed Stoneface. But a lot of the time he just sort of decided to get really aggressive, and that cost him, and then sort of gave Stoneface more and more time to get back into the game. And then when he sort of probably was in the game, Hans sort of struggled to really get back against that. So some issues there for HelpingHans, but still some great play from both players in the end. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed this match. Hope you learned something from it. If you did, subscribe, like, share, comment on it, tell friends, tell family, but don't show enemies. And for like I do, you can donate or pledge on Patreon. This is Imperial Links and cheers. Thank you for watching. You're all a wonderful audience. Hope to see you all tomorrow again for a nice episode. Bye.